The Little Red Schoolhouse, from my memory, was inside huge classrooms. It was covered to the walls with Douglas fir. I remember one place at the back was dented. A couple of the boards were dented, and that's from where my father and my Uncle Leonard told me that Roby Clark had thrown a carrot at Joyce and dented the board. And they were like that for years and years and years until they covered the place with plywood. In the center of the back, towards the back in the center, was a little black wood stove with the pipes going straight up through the ceiling. There was no upstairs in the Little Red Schoolhouse in those days. And in the wintertime, we all took our mittens off and dried them all around the wood stove. And down at the back was a door. You opened that and went in a coal room off that, where you opened the door and scooped coal out into the coal bucket and took it in to put in the stove. Also in the entryway, straight ahead, if you came into the bathrooms, what we called the toilets. There wasn't bathrooms by any means. Was a wooden seat with a hole in it. That was a bathroom. And later years, that was torn out, and we got what we thought was a bathroom. I guess was a white toilet, was a compostable toilet. I guess it must have been. That was the bathroom. Beyond that, those two rooms that originally had the wooden seats was converted into a little residence. A teacher stayed there 1 year, and after that it became kind of a book storage library place.
Taught there in 1957, 58. Back then you weren't into the school that you had one teacher for one class. You had grades 1 to 8, sometimes 9, all into one classroom with one teacher. The first thing they did was they said the Lord's Prayer. Everybody stood up, and then they read the Bible, and then the first thing you did in the afternoon when you went back was what they call a copybook. You had to practice handwriting. But you had 2 rows of seats, one on each side, and then there was a few in the middle at one point, and then they were eventually taken out. But there was 2 entrances. One was for the boys to leave and go in, and one was the girls. You had an inspector that came down from the Department of Education every spring, and it was McCullough when I was teaching, and he wanted me to go to summer school at McDonald College and get a teacher's license. And I said, thank you, I'm going to take that up as a career. I got probably spent the biggest part of my money when I asked for tablets while I was there.
Well, I liked school, going to school every day, and we wrote on everything. History and grammar, I hated that. We all had scribblers and pencils for slates, but they cut the slates out after a while. They made too much noise with slates, the kids. We used to walk to school, and lots of snow. Sometimes they'd take us there in the horse, and the horse would get through it. We had no roads. Oh, we had lots of fun.
Different today when we were going. Brown paper for scribblers, or calendar pages, whatever you get hold of. Fight over the calendar pages. Go and get them for scribbler. When we got a pencil or something too. They used to have that powdered milk in the last years. They used to rip the Red Cross. They used to have powdered milk, and they mixed it up. They used to give you capsules to come around every morning to capsules. They used to make you put in your mouth, one of the mouth, and it spit out when it wasn't looking. I remember when McMillan, I was his pet, and I suppose the last 3 or 4 days before school was done, Gwen and Zita was sitting ahead of me and Robina, and I said to Gwen and Zita, I said, I haven't been on the gossip bench yet. He heard me. Wasn't very long afterwards, Irene up on the gossip bench. You had to sit there and you had to put your scribbler on the wall and do your work. Quite a lot, I tell you, with some of the kids, especially me, Noel Bob, get behind me and he'd stick a pencil in my head like that, sharp pencil. I turned around and I whacked him. I wish them times were back.
Oh, we took history and geography and arithmetic. We done algebra. Well, we done all the subjects they do today. They used to have Lord's Prayer in the morning, that's all. I remember McMillan putting me in the corner, and he'd give you long division sums zero. They built that long. He thought I couldn't do them, but I fooled him. We used to have spelling bees when we went to school. They ended us up in line and give us spellings. Whoever couldn't spell the next one, they went ahead of the other one that couldn't spell. We had Christmas concerts every year. They were good concerts, too. We acted and carried on.
Imagine being around 20 years old and being offered a teaching position in a one-room schoolhouse. Acceptance of the position would mean teaching children in grades 1 to 6. Would I be able to manage it to effectively teach them all at the same time? Could I make it an enjoyable learning situation for them and for me?
With a lot of uncertainty and also excitement and anticipation, I did accept the challenge. The summer courses I was taking suddenly became a lot more exciting as I pondered the possibilities of how I could incorporate all of the interesting ideas into my classroom. How to make learning interesting and fun for all age levels. Needless to say, in my mind, I made and discarded many lesson plans and unit ideas. As the beginning of the school year approached, very rapidly, or so it seemed to me, my excitement and apprehension mounted as well. Foremost in my mind was whether I would be able to actually teach the required curriculum to the various levels. First week was the most difficult, as I tried to establish a routine that would enable me to give each group their time. Actually, in a much shorter time period than I had anticipated, we had a very workable schedule. The students were a wonderful group, and I have very fond memories of my time there. My 2 years spent teaching at the Little Red Schoolhouse are among my most treasured memories. They are years I enjoyed immensely, and I am truly thankful that I had the opportunity to teach there. I hope the students enjoyed those learning years as much as I did.